Welcome to SVG-TV News for Thursday, December 24th, 2015. I am Jennifer Richardson with the details. Leader of the New Democratic Party, the NDP, Annie Eustace, says the change in his party's decision for elected candidates to be sworn in as members of Parliament was made in the best interest of the party based on legal technical reasons and is not a contradiction of their earlier position. In a semi-television and radio broadcast last evening, the NDP leader described the Unity Labour Party as an illegitimate government and that his party refuses to accept what he described as the injustice of the December 9th general elections.
What we want is to stay away from the opening of Parliament on Tuesday. Our lawyers have advised that the duly elected members on our side must attend and be sworn in. This advice is strictly for technical legal reasons and should in no way be seen as a contradiction of our stance. It was our desire to stay away from the very beginning. But we have listened to our lawyers and to many patriotic intentions on this issue. Once we are officially sworn in as MPs, rest assured that we have appropriate ways to ensure that this so-called government accounts to with the people.
Eustace said after the advice of legal counsel, his party has to ensure that appropriate ways to challenge what he termed as the injustice of an illegal regime be acted upon on many fronts.
So understand that even while we celebrate Christmas, the fight is ongoing. It is important to note in this matter that while the people have donated to our cause, this illegal government is using the public purse to retain expensive lawyers in this fight against the will of the people. While the so-called government will hear from us in the courts, they must also hear from we the people in the streets. We have leaders throughout the community mobilizing the people as we speak. And many of them will be in touch with you within the next few hours and days about what responsible actions we must take to ensure that this illegitimate government gives account of its actions.
He assured the public that while Christmas is being celebrated, the fight will continue and says that their declarative statement is no retreat, no surrender. Eustace wished all a reflective Christmas and called on Vincentians to get ready to uphold justice.
As we go forward, be wary of attempts to divide the community on this issue. This illegal regime will want to make this ongoing struggle about me or about my party. We should not let them derail us. The struggle is about the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we the people. This struggle is about restoring integrity to our land. This struggle is about sending the right message to our youth. This is a battle for the soul of the nation, and it's a fight to save our collective conscience. One thing we accept is that undeniable fact of history that the people united can never be defeated. And so we choose to go forward on this matter. Tell everyone about our declarative statement. No retreat, no surrender. Have yourself a reflective Christmas and get ready to uphold justice.
With an excellent product, a guaranteed market and well-funded business, thriving cocoa industry could provide an increase in jobs, usage of spare lands and a well-boost to the country's GDP. This is according to Chairman of the St. Vincent Chocolate Company, Harry Marriott, in his remarks at the company's launching on Tuesday evening. Stressing the importance of acquiring lands to further expand cocoa cultivation, Marriott noted that at least 2,000 more acres of lands are needed for the country's cocoa industry to be viable.
But there is a big untapped potential there. So we're now planting our own land, and we're buying land ourselves. We planted 100 acres this year, and we'll be buying land every year for the foreseeable future to boost cocoa production, because that's what we need. But there are many thousands of acres of crown lands lying completely fallow. So we have made a formal request to the government to fulfill its promise made when we took over the company to lease us land.
In his response to the government fulfilling its promise of making lands available for leasing by the company, Minister of Agriculture Saboto Caesar said that while the request has been made, the decision lies with the Ministry of Lands and Surveys.
It is something that has to be decided mainly by the Ministry of Lands and Surveys. So the due diligence would have to be done, environmental assessments would have to be done on the parcels of lands, and we will be in contact with them in due course.
Minister Caesar further urged farmers who have cultivated and may wish to cultivate cocoa to become members of the St. Vincent Cocoa Company.
They are producing their cocoa mainly for persons in the cottage industry who produce chocolate sticks, and some persons even export their coffee beans. These persons can always come to the Farmers Support Company and obtain loans. We have given loans to several persons already, and it's something that we're going to continue. I am also aware that the St. Vincent Cocoa Company, they have a financing framework which is separate and apart from the Farmers Support Company, and it is something that I really credit them for.
Vincentians are being encouraged not to ignore the issue of food safety this Christmas season. Food safety describes the scientific discipline behind food handling, preparation and storage of food in ways that prevent foodborne illness, and Senior Environmental Officer with responsibility for food safety in the Ministry of Health, Carlos Wilson, says that this includes a number of routines that should be followed to avoid potentially severe health hazards. Wilson says though the department has been working extensively to ensure the safety of the foods to be consumed on a large scale, Vincentians must educate themselves about what to look out for when purchasing foods, since at the end of the day, each individual must take responsibility for their own health.
We always say in public health is that the consumer is the greatest surveillance officer or police officer, as we might put it, because you're policing your own safety. We advise persons to look for expiry dates. There are times when merchants can be unscrupulous and disguise the expiry date by placing, for example, the price, go for the expiry date. Some persons will go as far as using alcohol to disguise or tamper with the expiry date. So you as a consumer must be vigilant with the expiry, or what some persons refer to as the best before date. The best before date is telling you that the manufacturer is saying, up until this date I can guarantee that this product is safe, but after this date, so it's like a disclaimer, I can't guarantee your safety. Another thing you have to look at is the consistency. For example, cheese. You know, if you're buying yellow cheese, it's supposed to have a certain pigmentation, but you see variation in the pigment. That can be an issue. Ensure that the packages, whether it's tin, whether it's Tetra Pak material, that is not damaged, that is not leaking, as we refer to leak as spoilage. You ensure that it's not temperature abused. Perfect example is eggs being sold at ambient temperature, exposed to the sun, because eggs really are supposed to be stored and sold at 7 degrees Celsius, but most times you see it's being sold on the street, and that is way beyond 7 degrees. You have to ensure that your food that you purchase is not temperature abused. For example, if you're buying frozen products, you ensure that it doesn't show any sign of thawing.
Now into the final day before Christmas, where there is nationwide slaughtering of animals for consumption. Wilson also advises Vincentians not to purchase meat from stalls or butchers who are not certified by the Ministry of Health. Additionally, the Environment Officer advises butchers to make sure they are properly attired, wash hands often as well as cleaning tools before cutting meat, and maintain a clean workspace to avoid physical contamination of the meat.
There are a lot of things that you have to look at as a consumer in terms of purchasing meat around this time, is that you ensure that one of the things that you as a consumer can do is when purchasing meat, you ensure that the meat is inspected. You look for the the certificate of inspection. If it's not displayed, you as a consumer have the right to ask if the meat was inspected. If the department, if we didn't inspect that meat, we do not advise anybody to purchase meat that is uninspected. One of the things that is happening in recent time is bucket, what we refer to as bucket meat, right? That's where persons will slaughter, most times stolen animals, slaughter them, pack them in buckets, and then deliver them to supermarkets or little cook shops here, there, and everywhere. That we are cautioning persons to be mindful of, right? So you have to ensure that, as I said, that the meat that you're purchasing around this time is inspected by the department. We have the certificates that we leave after inspection. You ensure that the meat is bright red, right? It doesn't show any sign. It's not very bloody. It is hung properly. It's not exposed to the sun, to the elements as a whole. You ensure that the persons that are handling the meat, they're clean, they're not smoking. So you have to be mindful of consumer. You have to know where to make judgment when it comes to the consumption of food items.
According to Wilson, it is very important that food consumers and handlers pay close attention to the food safety requirements.
We are guided by the Public Health Act of number 9 of 1977, which stipulates what is expected of a food handler during food handling practices, and what is expected of an establishment, how an establishment must be laid out or constructed, right? We are aware that persons looking for a way to survive, and selling food is one of those ways. But there is a registration process once you decide to sell food, and there is the certification process where it involves training and registration by the department. So once you're interested in doing that as a business person, is that we advise that you be registered with the department before doing so we can have you registered, certified, well trained and certified. For the consumer around this time, as I said previously, is that you have to protect your health. Your vigilance is of most importance around this time.
Meanwhile, Wilson says the health department will be ramping up their inspection and safety measures in the new year to prevent food contamination and the spread of foodborne diseases. He adds that this will ensure that consumers make better informed choices.
There is a section that speaks to that inspection tool being displayed on the wall, a copy of that inspection tool being displayed on the wall of the establishment with the grade. So whether you get a fail grade or pass grade, it will be displayed. So the public will be able to see where to eat, basically, because you wouldn't be going to a restaurant or a food establishment that has a fail grade. Now in law, it tells you that it is not to be removed by anyone except the Public Health Department. But as I say, we are in the discussion and introducing that part of the legislation because we are aware that it will have to be brought in with some public awareness, both for the consumer and the business houses. So that is something I think that the public can look forward to.
It was 2 years ago to the day on Christmas Eve when 12 persons died after torrential rains from a tropical trough system caused severe flooding across mainland St. Vincent. The extreme weather event caused hundreds to be left without electricity and water. Infrastructures were destroyed and some left without homes, while some were trapped for hours. The E.T. Joshua Airport as well as the pediatric ward of the Milton Cater Memorial Hospital were also flooded. The National Emergency Organization immediately activated the National Emergency Operations Center to cater to those affected after the trough system dumped some 400 millimeters of rain in less than 24 hours. Rivers overflowed their banks in South Rivers, Chateaubelair, Darkview, O'Brien's Valley, Byra, Clare Valley, Buckermint Bay, and Vermont, and a number of bridges were destroyed. The Central Water and Sewerage Authority, the CWST, reported damage to 3 of its main water supply, which left a number of residents without pipe-borne water. Of those who perished in the floods and landslide, the Nanton family of Rosebank suffered the most loss, with 4 of their family members passing away due to a landslide which crashed into their home. On this day, SVG Broadcasting Corporation remembers those who lost their loved ones, and our prayers are with you and the nation. Nine Mornings festivities came to a close this morning as the National Nine Mornings Committee held its last day of activities at Heritage Square. Prayers for the nation were given, as well as praises in song, performance in dance, the singing of local Christmas songs, the playing of steel pan by the San Hilarionium Steel Orchestra, as well as giveaways for audience participation in various activities. Speaking at the closing ceremony, Minister of Tourism, Sports and Culture Cecil Mackey says SVG's Nine Mornings continue to be a success due to the support of the Vincentian public, attracting many persons regionally and internationally. Mackey says the festival has grown over the years, encompassing activities which unearth local talent.
Vincentians at home, regionally and further afield. And that is why you continue to turn out in your numbers year after year. Not only to the festival and the activities here in Kingston, but throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines. What this means is that the numbers coming to St. Vincent continue to grow year after year. We're now close to 20,000 persons coming for this festival. You all know that because you have owned this festival, it is now the #1 Christmas festival anywhere in the world. And I want to ask you to put your hands together for that achievement. This festival has grown from just a concert in Kingston to concerts throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Mackey appeals for continued support and promotion of the festival as St. Vincent aims to further elevate its status as a premier diverse travel destination.
I want to urge you, continue to come out and promote the Nine Mornings Festival. And while you're doing that, because we're doing the dress rehearsals for the main one, when the international airport is opened and we welcome even more persons. So as you promote the Nine Mornings Festival, look at my t-shirt. It says 232. Because St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we are privileged to be a destination that has 232 different islands and cays that we can boast of. So while you're promoting Nine Mornings, promote St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the most diverse destination anywhere in the region, and very soon the #1 destination anywhere in the world.
Here's some highlights from performances on the final day of Nine Mornings.
Light up the country, light it up. Light it up from Union to Fancy. Light it up, light it, celebrating this season. Christ is the reason. Light up the country, light it up in the Grenadines. Light it up for the world to see. Light it up with peace and love. Light it up down in Marali. Light it up in Marewa. Light it up in the whole valley. Light it up over Oia. Light it up and in San Souci. Light it up.
Come, now is the time to worship. Oh, come, now is the time to give your heart. Come, just as you are to worship. Make you the child that you deliver will soon deliver you. You know your baby boy will decide to a blind man. Did you know that your baby boy will calm the storm with his hand? Did you know?
In Knoxville, I run through mud and but everybody put their hands in the air right now. Everybody! And they say roast pork is all I eating. Roast pork, but plenty seasoning there. Roast pork is what I craving. Hey, roast pork, so it's a mean misbehaving.
Meantime, the winners of the Vinlek Community Lighting Competition were announced at this morning's closing ceremony of the National Nine Mornings Celebration. The title of Best Lit Garden went to Richmond Hill Gardens, while Fitzhughes took second place. The Best Lit Private Home title was taken by Olivia De Silva of Mesopotamia, with Jimmy Samuel of Rillen Hill coming in second place. In the zonal competition, Rosebank took the top spot on the leeward side in Zone 1, with Chumaker second and P.T. Bodell third. In Zone 2 for the Kingston area, Green Hill was out front with Fountain and Town Hill third. In Zone 3 in the Mariaqua area, Cotton Ground came in first. Second place went to Carrere and third Richland Park. And in Zone 4, Point Village came in first, while Newgrounds took second spot and Owie third. Zone 5, which encompasses the Grenadines, Port Elizabeth Beckway came out on top, Diamond Village Beckway second, and Clifton Union Island third. Overall, the national champions of the Vinlec lighting competition went to Point Village, with Rosebank coming in second and Cotton Ground third. At this morning's ceremony at Heritage Square, SVGTV's Barvin Oliver was able to interview some persons who braved the early morning hours to give support to the festival.
Oh, my funny time I was 14. I bred and born here. So I like it.
It's been a number of years we've been coming here. Anything you see that is different now than what it was when you first started going to 9 mornings?
Every year I find it getting bigger and bigger.
Yeah, morning. I'm just enjoying the 9 morning, you know.
Okay,
yeah.
This is your first 9 mornings or are you accustomed to it?
Nah, when I home, my car is travel, right? It used to be a Seaman right now, and I just came out from New Jersey. So I enjoy everything. I enjoy everybody. Remember, the wall is seeing this, and then it's good for us because we are so established in the wall. We are not so much established. So this is very good.
Very good. You have different people doing different things, which I enjoy. Enjoy the dancing, and there are plenty creativity that you can enjoy. So I'm happy to be out.
What I find touched my heart is just the glory that's given to Jesus. Here, just even on the stage, just people praising Jesus and singing worship songs, and I'm loving it because I'm a missionary from America, and so it brings joy to my heart.
Yeah, we love y'all people of St. Vincent. Good morning. It's 9 mornings. Thank you, sir.
Any of the festivities you find to be special to you?
I like the singing and the dancing. I like the welcoming people. That's about it.
Okay, and this is your first time?
Yes, sir. Yes.
I think it's pretty cool. I like the atmosphere, I like the people. Everybody's really nice and super welcoming.
Okay, festivities you find?
Alright, we got 2 families on stage.
I like the singing and the dancing.
Family number 1.
You know, all the shows that they do up there. I think it's
family number 1.
Sick.
Okay, and how you find the 9 mornings?
Good.
Is your first time to 9 mornings?
Yes.
You enjoying it? Alright, thank you so much.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Okay, what's your name?
My name is Shazza Jackson.
Okay, and how do you enjoy 9 mornings?
It's good. I'm enjoying it great. This year was the first time I went to 9 mornings. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Congratulations to Point Village for winning the Best Lit Community for, I think, 3 times in a row. Congratulations, Point. Plans are set to be well in place for the staging of Steel Expressions Circles of Life on Sunday the 27th December 2015 at Arnisvale Playing Field. Rodney Small RS Productions will join with a team of outstanding and talented Vincentians to present the 4th edition of Steel Expressions. The organizers say Circles of Life will showcase the many situations that we experience during our daily lives and take patrons on a musical journey as we examine our roots, love, inspiration, hope, and next generation. The cast comprises Rodney Small, Gamal Skinny Fabulous Doyle, Chanel McKenzie, Zamfir Manzangi Adams, Alison Stoddard, Millen Compton, Urban Expressions, and the Ultimate Band. Funds realized from this event will go towards the sponsorship of the Arts Alive program, which aims to provide an avenue to showcase the talents of the nation's youth and to raise funds to finance the Arts Alive Youth Development Program. Digicel spreads Christmas cheer and grants Christmas wishes for several of its customers earlier today. 5 lucky Digicel customers were awarded with $5,000 at a prize-giving ceremony in Heritage Square. And according to Digicel's operations manager, SVG Limited, Justin John, the company is always happy to give back to their customers and assist in improving the social and quality of life, not just for its customers, but all Vincentians. John congratulated the winners and thanked all its customers, both new and old, for their continuing support.
I want to congratulate all of you for finalists, for being finalists, and just to let you know, none of you will be walking out of here empty-handed. You are all winners. Thank you for choosing Digicel during the course of this promotion, and thank you for staying with the Digicel family from since you have joined. The wish element of the promotion, persons that would have topped up could have also sent a text to 1130, and we have granted wishes of many different kinds. We have granted wishes for customers to travel to Trinidad. We've given away bicycles, we've given away numerous types of appliances, televisions, and the full works. But today it all wraps up with 5 of you that will be walking away with a total of $5,000 each.